is my immense pleasure to welcome all of you this afternoon to the beautiful Asia House. And we have their chairman, Asia House, also gracing the occasion, of dear friend over. As India celebrates 75 years of independence this year, we are having a series of high-profile events worldwide called Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And we are delighted that the world-renowned Indian spiritual leader, ambassador of peace, global humanitarian, Sri Ravi Shankar, is in our midst this evening. Welcome to Denmark, Your Holiness, Sri Sri. Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar is the founder of The Art of Living, an educational and humanitarian NGO, the International Association for Human Values, which fosters not only human values but also sustainable development. And he is also the founder of the World Forum for Ethics in Business. All of these have consultative status with the United Nations Economic and Social Council, ECOSOC. Sri Sri pursues a very secular approach towards self-development, towards individual happiness, as well as sustainable peace building. He has been, I believe, awarded at least 24 honorary doctorates, and of course numerous international awards and honors. He carries on the legacy of Mahatma Gandhi, the father of the Indian nation. Gurudev is a great proponent of non-violence and of recognizing human values and humanity as the highest form of identity. India is a unique country because it straddles both the ancient and the modern at the same time. And it is spirituality, I believe, which is the link, that thread that binds the past to the present, building bridges across millennia and amongst communities and peoples. So without further ado, I will call upon His Holiness, Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar, to share his thoughts. May I request you, Gurudev, to speak about perhaps the art of living, in particular how to live happier, more balanced lives, more peaceful lives, in harmony with nature and other human beings, as we juggle our very stressful careers and lives in the face of global challenges, and more recently, battling individual loss and even depression in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. The format of the program, if it's okay with you, Sri, would be as follows. I'd invite you to speak for a few minutes. And then if you could kindly take us through some guided mindfulness, meditation, breathing for about 10 minutes. Gurudev is very well known for what is called the Sudarshan Kriya, but he'll tell you more about it himself. And I think that's that. And if you will be kind enough to take some questions thereafter.
Sure.
So over to you, Gurudev.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Ambassador to India, Ambassador of India to Denmark. And I have met yourself in Bulgaria a few years back, I still remember that. And Your Excellencies here, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, today, the biggest challenge in the world is mental health. We all agree? Yes. Post-COVID, what is happening is there's two situations. Either people are getting into a depression and suicidal tendency on one side. On the other side, at the drop of the hat, people are losing their temper. Getting so angry, agitated, upset. Divorce rates have increased threefold. I mean, this is the statistics world over, it's alarming. So, domestic violence has increased. Different type of aggression in society against women or against elders or each other has increased. So, we need to take care of it. Don't you think so? See, the most developed country like America, the past 6 months, there are 300 mass shooting incidents. Every 45 seconds, one person is taking his or her life away. We sometimes wonder, where are we heading? It looks like a barbaric society. society where 45 seconds people are committing suicide means that we cannot keep quiet, no? We need to do something immediately. This is where I say mental health must be given all priority. Now first COVID, on top of it now the war in Ukraine and slowdown in economy, economic issues, people don't know what to do. At this time, what we need is more resilient inner strength. That's where meditation helps us. It helps us to get over the depression on one side and calm down from our aggressive tendency on the other side. I could lead you through a short meditation. But before that, I want to say, we have to see our life in a bigger context. Bigger context in the sense, see, all of us are here today. We're not going to be here forever, isn't it? Just project your mind 30 years from now, 40 years from now. Where will we be? We'll all be under the ground. In Europe, you'll be under the ground. In India, we'll be in the water. Put as ashes, will be gone. When life is short, what best use we can make of it? What best we can do to the world? Do we want to leave back a world which is fearful, which is insecure, which is uncertain, or give a better world for our younger generation? We all have to just think about it. But, our environment is an issue. Are we taking care of our environment? Are we taking care of our children, our young minds? Are they free? Are they unbiased? Or are they getting polarized? Are they have prejudice? These are some of the things that I feel we have to seriously put our attention. What do you think? Don't you think so? I feel a violence-free society, disease-free body, stress-free mind, inhibition-free intellect, trauma-free memory, sorrow-free soul is the birthright of every individual. And as a civilized society, we need to provide this to people. We have to see that people get out of all different types of prejudice. Prejudice against race, religion, culture, this and that. We have one planet and we have one human family. Can't we see that beyond all that? This type of peace education is essential where people can embrace the diversity in the world. War to me is worst act of reason. You see, in which a perceived threat in minds of people, they get generated in the minds of people. A few people, they think, they are going to be, their religion is in danger, or their world is in danger, or their country is in danger. It's a perception. And then they start acting on it, they start believing in it, and communication breaks down. And this is what has happened. We see this over and again. We need to re-establish the communication. It's a very delicate thing to handle or deal with the mind. And this is where art of living comes in. We need to bridge the gaps. We need to bring people who are on opposite side on the same table to sit for dialogue. And we have to de-stress ourselves. If you have noticed, when you have no stress, the way you respond to people is much different from when you are stressed. When you have something to do, when you are in a hurry and a child comes and asks you a question, you frown at the child. Because our stress gives that type of response back from us. Stress, I feel, is the biggest enemy of mankind. And art of living teaches technique, tools and techniques to people how to manage, how to get rid of stress. Neither at home nor in school we ever learn how to get rid of bad mood. It's normal to get into a bad mood, disappointment, disagreement, rage and all that. But nobody teaches us how to get out of it. Grandmothers would say, go to the corner and count 10. Today, even if you count 100, it's not good. That is not working now. So we need to see how we can teach ourselves and our young people to calm the mind, to be in the present moment, to let go of the past and think afresh for the moment. This is what is art of living. Art of living is based on 5 principles. The first principle is, in life there are ups and downs. There are success and failures. Nobody can claim they have only success. Nobody can say they are only failures in their life. So the first point is, in success or failure, in praise or in blame, keep the balance of mind. This is the first thing. The second point we say is, accept situation, people as they are. Because you can't change everybody immediately. They will change on their own, at their own time. We expect everyone to be like us, the way we think we want them to be. It's not possible. So second point we say, emphasize is, accept people, accept the diversity, leave room and space for people to change. You can't change everybody at the same time, right? So that's second point. Third point we say, not to be football of others' opinion. Now we sit and worry what others are thinking about. There are people who think good about those who are doing bad things, and there are people who do bad things, and they are doing good things, and people think bad about them also. So people's opinions change, and not to base your life on others' opinion. And fourth point is, not to see intention behind others' mistakes. People commit mistakes. Now don't hold grudge against their mistake all their life. Forgive, forget and move on. And the fifth point we say is to be in the present moment and be as useful as you could be for society. Instead of thinking what I can get from the society, say what I can give back. There is a joy that you get, that's very common. There is a joy that you get when you get things. As a child, when for your birthday your parents give a gift, you are so surprised, it made you happy, right? But as you grow up, your joy is in giving the gifts. A grandmother loves to make many dishes for the kids when they come home, and she enjoys that. That giving is what brings that joy, right? So there is a mature joy that comes by contributing, by giving. So we need to grow from the joy of getting and grabbing to the joy of giving, contributing. These are the main art of living principle, and how to get this imbibed in your life? By attending to your breath, by attending to meditation. Because breath is the link, breath is the secret to us. For every emotion, there is a particular rhythm in the body. And by attending to the breath, we can change the mindset, we can change the feelings. We don't need to feel desperate and despondent. We know the technique of breathing. We can bounce back in energy. So we have been doing this in all the prisons. Here also in Denmark, about 5,000 plus prisoners and the gang members, They've all done the program and their life is totally transformed. We call it the Prison Smart program in Denmark. I was in the prison in Norway yesterday. Yesterday, they also, the change that has occurred in the prisoners after doing these exercises, you have to see to believe it. Such a big change it happens in them just in few days of looking at their own breath. Now, Fortune 500 companies, many companies in the world are taking now to these breathing techniques. Mr. Plaza, is there how many companies have done it? Many.
Yeah, more than 200.
More than 200 companies. What,
Like, for example, Roche, Siemens, Accenture,
Roche,
BCG,
Accenture.
Deutsche Telekom,
Bosch.
Bosch as well. Yeah.
So all these companies, they are doing it for their executive, for their employees, so that the well-being, is attended to. Wellness. So wellness, okay? Now I would like to lead you through a short meditation, and then I'll take question answer. What do you think? Yeah? And spirituality is that which supports, which brings up these things. Patience, insight, you need intuitive awareness, you need to meditate. Meditation gives you that intuition, right intuition. Number one. Second is, it's easy to tag and put people, they're all bad guys and bad people. Inside every culprit there is a victim crying for help. There is a good person inside every bad guy. So, we should not judge anybody so harsh. We should keep an open mind and be skillful in our dealings, whatever we do. Hope it answers.
Any more questions?
I got a call from India today. My daughter, she asked me, I should ask you particularly about your experience with Kangen water.
Wait.
Kangen water.
You see, there are many different theories, many different principles about all that. Waters and alkaline water, this and that. I have no opinion about anything. Yeah. Meditation is the way to connect to the people who have crossed over to the other side. That's why in all religions, in all the traditions in the world, when there is a memorial service, people keep silent. Because it's the silence which connects you to the other side of the world, where people have crossed over. Here we are connected by talking, there we get connected in silence.
I've lived in India, so I have known about you for many years, and I followed your activities in peace building in Kashmir in particular. You have been there many times and spoken to both sides. Do you feel you have been successful in bringing some better vision on how to get to peace in that part?
See, peace buildings are never a failure. We should always see that there is always one step towards the progress. Of course, what we did is we brought the families of the victims and the families of the culprits, of the militant together. And the healing that happened between them is something amazing. When they first saw, they didn't know the others are coming. They were in surprise to see the person's mother who killed that lady's own husband was present right there. Just imagine the amount of anger and emotion that would have erupted there. But when they saw, they know they both were victims, they hugged each other, they cried. And the healing that has happened, that understanding, is unbelievable. We know, we cared for the victim's family. But you know, when the militants who are killed, they have family. Their children have not listened to them. They also are victims in some way. But they have been there is stigma against them. So that was one thing. And of course, we had number of initiatives. Recently, in the most tough area of Kashmir, we had a medical camp. Everybody said nothing will happen. 400 people came for the medical camp, and it was so successful. And people celebrated Azadi Ka, the 75 years of Indian independence. I mean, there's a lot of good things that happen.
Rishi, may I ask one question as
Yeah.
well? Do you have a special message for children? You know, I think the current generation of young people is facing new challenges, as you mentioned. You know, counting to 100 is not enough anymore, and in so many other ways, they live in very difficult times, lots of global crises, so on, and they are uncertain about the future. Do you have any guidance or words of advice?
I would say every crisis opens huge opportunities for the children. You must see the crisis as an opportunity rather than a disaster, number one. Number two, I would encourage children to be multi-talented. They should, this is the time for them to equip themselves with many talents. Third, I would give them advice, make one new friend every day. Don't remain in a small circle and always buried in your phone or computers in the virtual world. Be in the real world and meet with people, greet and live life. Then another thing I would say, not to spend too much time on the screen. I heard there is a research recently, they said if you are looking at the screen for too long, you blink very less. And when you don't blink much, that part of your brain which is responsible for creativity starts slowing down. It doesn't get activated. So I would ask people not to spend too much time on the screen, but spend real time with friends and family. One more thing I would like to add here about Ayurveda. India is specialized in yoga and Ayurveda. I remember 41 years back when I talked about yoga, people thought, they raised their eyebrow. People thought it's not for mainstream people, it was someone out there. Only they would do yoga, crazy people would do yoga. But today, fortunately, 2.5 billion people around the world, almost 1/3 of world population are practicing yoga and getting benefit out of it. So yoga today has come over the bump of, or the hump of prejudice, you know, and same thing with meditation also. You know, so many people would laugh and think it's a crazy act. Closing your eyes, what you will get. But today there are more than 100 research work which says 100 benefits of yoga physiologically. You know, and this Sudarshan Kriya, when you do it, you know the telomeres in our DNA, they get extended. Recent research says that they are the tails of the DNA, telomeres. These get extended when you do Sudarshan Kriyas for 4 days. And that is an amazing research. That means you gain about 10 years of your life. Your body becomes much younger. Your cells become much younger. Your brain becomes more active. So these are the benefits from yoga and meditation. So take some time and give all your embassy staff a few sessions. I'm sure Indian embassy is already doing for all the staffs. You can keep every embassy vibrant with smile and happiness. That can happen through few sessions even twice a week. It does good job, it does. And then about Ayurveda, Ayurveda has immense, credibility because of its 5,000-year history. For COVID recently, I had called all our doctors, Ayurvedic doctors, to do something. They came up with a formula. I named it NOC 19, and they have found out that it inhibits the virus 100%. So then 14 different hospitals, including our AIMS in Rishikesh, Jodhpur, all of them did research work on this. They tried on the human. Now they have, the government of India and the health ministry has approved it as the treatment for mild and moderate COVID. Of course, when it's gone to serious stage, you need a different treatment, but so far they have found mild and moderate. This works very good, excellent. While efficiency of vaccine is 60%, it inhibits. This is 100%, it inhibits the COVID virus. Even Frankfurt Innovation Center here, which is an arm of German government, they also did a trial on this, in vitro studies. So that is a good news for us. I've seen myself, we have 950 people around our campus got virus, this COVID. In 3 days' time, they all got negative, without any hospitalization, without having to go through any heart strain. So that's one good news for humanity that Ayurveda has presented. It's a combination of Ayurveda and Siddha system, and the government of India has recently, because I don't say anything unless it is thoroughly examined and thoroughly tested in a modern scientific way. So 14 different hospitals did trial on many patients, more than 5,000 people participated in it in the trial, and they found it very, very useful. So that one good news I'm giving you, it's like any other influenza, any other flu today. So, and also it's preventative. Therefore, if you find that you sat with somebody who had a COVID and you pop into with your meal, no side effects, and it makes you already feel better. With these few words, I once again thank you all for this afternoon. We're all together, and let's all move forward to see a better world and do all that we can do to give a better planet to the coming generation.
Everybody here?
Yeah. And smile. Your dress also. Too.
And flowers. The full supply chain.
If I may propose a vote of thanks.
Yeah.
First of all, we are so inspired by your presence amongst us here today. You came straight off a plane. You advanced your program because we had some other diplomatic reps in the city today, and you were kind enough to make time for all of us. And I'm so happy that so many people in Copenhagen and Denmark are going to be meeting with you in your short 2-day stay here. But we are truly blessed. Your address was inspiring, inspirational, and I'm sure all those gathered here today would agree that they were the promised words of wisdom about the art of living. I'm sure we will all benefit immensely from them. Shrishi also mentioned yoga and Ayurveda. Pleased to inform you that we've had fabulous International Day of Yoga celebrations here, and this time even in Greenland, which is the biggest island in the world, and we had it on their National Day, in fact. And you will see some beautiful photos of yoga, but also of how you'll see for yourself how popular it is. Ayurveda, which is the ancient Indian medical science of well-being, physical, mental, and emotional, is also, along with Siddha, which you mentioned, is also something which I think Europe would benefit immensely from. And it's worth looking at. We have here two Ayurveda practitioners today, Dr. Beck and Dr. Sudipta, who will be available for complimentary consultations. The Art of Living Foundation also has many Ayurvedic products. I've got some beautiful samples there, but Shri's team will be very happy to tell you about them. Finally, thank you to our esteemed guests. We have for you now some essentially plant-based Indian cuisine, which I hope you will enjoy. And Shri has very kindly agreed to have lunch with us, and it would be an opportunity for you to interact informally with him. So, thank you.
7, and I was Minister of Defense, and I also met Almeniki, the Premier, and I saw that you met him, and I was, that is not the funniest place to be, so I admire you to go there and try to make a difference. So I would like to hear you how you found your visit in Copenhagen.
Thank you very much.
I'm very glad that you.
This is actually one.
Thank you very much.
May I get it?
I must say your message for children was very deeply.
I like very much the convention. Cottages.
Can I have a photo?
Yes, you look so good with all these
You are so
medals.
great.
There's so many medals. That's so nice.
Okay. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Can take a very little time.
आप बैठे हैं? You are
Guest of honor after Pakistan also when they are in.
This is the car? Car is coming. Car.
Okay, we want to walk a little bit. 10 meters.